Hey folks, Stone here again with another battle report, and this is the start of 5 battle reports from the last tournament I was at in Belfast called Nordicon. Great tournament that was run by Ross McCarroll up in Queens University Belfast, which is a really cool place. There's a super bar, loads of room for tables, and there's 40k that went on as well, War Machine. So there's loads of people going on. A couple of stalls there from the Northdown Wargamers Club. They had a stall, and there was the Beer Ogre guys who were selling scenery. Their scenery is fantastic, got some of that as well. But moving on to the game, so I played, my first opponent was actually a grudge match against Marty Sloan. He is a Northern Ireland player. He's a good friend and he's a great guy, and I was delighted to play a grudge match against him because the last couple of times I played him I just got wiped out. And this is a pretty fluffy kind of army, so I was looking forward to playing him, and I was hoping that I would be able to maybe get a couple of points off him and just have a fun game for a first game, which is kind of the point really of a grudge, just to have a fun game for your first game. So I'm just going to crack on here and off we go. So battle line's the scenario. Every single game was battle line. Ross said there's no point doing scenarios, we're just going to do a battle line, get it going. So it's my High Elves versus Marty's Warriors of Chaos, and it's 2,000 points. This is probably the first and last time I'll bother going through my army list because it's a set of 5. So if you want to find them out, then you can go across to the first one again. So I have a general who is the Anointed of Azurian. He is has got a Giant Blade, Enchanted Shield, Dawnstone, and he's on a Flame Spire Phoenix. I've used him quite a lot recently. I think he's great fun and he looks really good. And then I got a lend of this one actually. I got a lend of another Frost Phoenix with Caradrians, and he's on Ashtari. Then I have a Noble. He's a BSB, he's got the Shield of Merwa and Kane's Ring of Fury. He's also got Dragon Armor there as well. A Mage, small Mage, level 2, Dispel Scroll, Obsidian Trinket, and Iron Curse Icon, which I forget both of pretty much for most of the game, so it doesn't really matter. Then I have 3 units of Reavers, 5 Reavers who've got Bows, Spears, and Musician, 18 Archers who've got a Musician, and then another Frost Tower Phoenix, so it's a really small army. I really just wanted to have a nice quick army to play, have some fun games, and it's all painted as well, which is pretty important because it gets you a couple of points. So let's get on to the game. So my army from left to right, I have 2 units of Reavers there. My general's in the centre of those. Put him there because even if they get shot off, well obviously they can't get shot off because he doesn't have any shooting, but I just threw them there anyway because if anything does happen he's immune to panic, so whatever. Then I got my unit of archers there. I popped them sort of in the wood, so when we're firing out we'd have the cover, and if they charge in they get a few tests. You know, he's got a couple of Scroll Crushers. Unfortunately I rolled up a 6, which is a wild wood, so I need to get the fuck out of that wood pretty quick or else I'm going to take some hits. Then on the centre right, I suppose, we have Caradrian who's on a Sherry. I have just a regular Frost Phoenix, and then another set of Reavers there on the right hand side. And here we have the Chaos Warriors. Marty's just running a regular Chaos Warrior army. He didn't actually have the Glock-in book yet, so he didn't have a chance to maybe use them as the fancy Chaos Legion. But whatever, I mean, they're still pretty cool anyway. Left hand side, then, if I remember rightly, he has 6 dogs who have Vanguard. He has Demon Prince who has everything, so that's not great for me. 1+ rerollable Scaly Skin, Soul Feeder, yak. He has, I'm trying to count them here, I think it's 30 or 29, or I think it was 28 Nurgle Warriors, Halberds and Shields. He's got Festus in there as well, who's going to give him regen, so he's horrible, and poison attacks. And then on the right hand side is the old fancy BSB who's on a Demonic Mount, and he has 3+ rerollable ward save who rerolls his 1s, so that's great. And then on the right hand side, he's got 5 Khorne Chosen, if I remember rightly. 5 Khorne Chosen there in the wood, and I think we rolled that up just to be a normal wood, so it didn't really matter for them. We got 4 Skull Crushers of Khorne, and then 5 Hellstriders. No upgrades in the Hellstriders. So after Vanguards, I think he moved up a little bit further anyway. But on to turn 1 for Warriors of Chaos. Marty got the first turn, which kind of scuppered me a little bit because I had +1 and I was hoping that I get that and then I could redeploy a little bit on the left hand side and then wait for his Demon Prince to come up with me a little bit and be able to give him a few slaps, then maybe do a combo charge, which is probably the only way I'm going to kill him. Unfortunately, he won the first turn, so straight over comes everybody, as the Warriors always do. The Demon Prince is right in my face, Warriors come up, Nurgle, BSB, dogs, everything. And the right, they do exactly the same thing. The Health Striders had moved up, so I couldn't charge my Reavers, so they went straight behind them to give them a nice rear charge later on, give me a bit of a fright. Then the Skull Crushers were too far away from my Reavers to charge, so they just moved up normally, and then so did the Corn Chosen, who I believe got +1 initiative. They were quite unlucky with the roll. High off turn 1, because nothing really happened there for Warriors Chaos. So, as I said to myself, I'm not here for a long time, I'm here for a good time. So let's get in there and see what we can do against this Demon Prince. Flanks don't really matter against this guy, he's unbreakable. I mean, he's just a beast. So we'll see how we get on. Meanwhile, the 2 Reaver units move up. The one on the left is going to take some shots at the dogs, and the one on the right is just going to be getting chopped up, really, because he's going to try and redirect those warriors for a turn. Then in movement phase, I try to do what I should have done, well, what I would hope to do if I had won the first turn, and move everybody over to the left. So Caradrian and the Frost Phoenix dive over to the left hand side, trying to protect my bunker, which is in loads of trouble because we are fucking weeds. And then the other Reavers there move up out of the line of sight of the Juggers, or whatever they're called. Skull Crushers, sorry, I should know, I have loads of them. Skull Crushers, and we'll take a couple of shots at the Chosen. So I got 2 nice spells, an Arcane of Fortune, and I think, well, I'm not sure what the other one is, I can't remember. But yeah, Arcane of Fortune, I wasn't too worried about miscasting because he's a weak wizard, doesn't have much, and the unit's kind of pointless anyway. So all my dice was thrown, got a double 6, and just about managed to actually get a wound through on this guy because he's no armor save, so it was a ward save, and he rolled a 2. So nice job, good bit of luck there. Unfortunately, my luck ran out when I rolled for what I was going to take away. I picked his not charm shield, sorry, his the one that gives the enchanted shield, and rolled a 1, so he still has a 1+ armor save, so not much use. And I rolled 8 or 9, which meant a magical feedback, and my wizard takes a wound. Shooting, get a couple of dogs killed, which is grand. Actually, it was 3 dogs I killed, not 2. And then on to the combat, which means the Demon Prince chops my Phoenix up because he's easier to kill. Well, actually, no, he's not easier to kill. It's a bit harder, but he doesn't really care because he's strength 6. So he's 3s, he takes 2 wounds off the Phoenix. I actually do a wound to him, but because he's done 2 wounds, he rolls for Soul Feeder and gets a 6. So takes his wound back, and things aren't looking good already. So Warriors of Chaos turn 2. Dogs try to charge into my flank of the Phoenix, trying to get some res on him, I guess. Nothing happens there because they fail. Warriors then go into my Reavers, who will hold and will get killed. Right hand side then, the Health Striders declare charge on the Reavers, who flee, go through the wood, and one of them dies. Health Striders then obviously fail the charge, and the other 2 units move up, as does the BSB. Yeah, so dead Reavers, good stuff. And then on to the combat. And for the second combat phase in a row, he gets 2 wounds on me, I get a wound off him, and he soul feeds it again. So this is looking worse and worse. High off turn 2. So this is where I say all I can do really is just charge in, and hopefully with the -1 for his strength, I might do something here. So I charge Caradrian into the combat. There's a nice bit of room there, so he goes in. He's just not base to base because the models are a pain in the hole. Left hand side, then I charge my Reavers into the remainder of the dogs just to get a couple of points, and that's pretty much it. Oh yeah, this mistake I made, big mistake. I thought this was a good idea at the time because I fancied getting into combat. So I charged my Phoenix into Skull Crushers, which wasn't a good, well, obviously, spoiler alert, it won't be a good idea. But anyway, should I have charged the BSB? He's 1 wound left, I've got 4 attacks. I probably won't be killing him, but I might be able to break him because it'll be tough for him to kill me. I don't know. It might have been a better choice to go into the BSB, but it is what it is. Maybe I made a mistake. Well, I did actually make a mistake. Oh yeah, Reavers at the top then, rally and just drop back down, take a couple of shots. So combat, yeah, my Frost Phoenix is dead. Kaput, he did no wounds. Marty, I think, did 1 or 2 to him, but I was on a 6, failed, and he ran me down. So Skull Crushers did a great job there, killing the Phoenix, and they move really far up now, which means they're definitely in charge range. Over here, then, we kill the dogs and just reform. And on to combat. This is not Marty picking up my guy, throwing him away, because my guy actually survives. No wounds done to anybody. The Frost Phoenix comes in and he declares a challenge on my general, and I have to accept, or else I'm just going to be going to the back. I'm better off doing it with him anyway, because he's a bit killier than Caradrian is. But anyway, so what I have here is -1 onto his strength, and he goes for my Phoenix again. Now, in my magic phase, I did roll a 6, so he's got a 4+ ward save. So he only hit me I think it was twice, did 1 wound, and I ward saved it. So Phoenix is still alive, General's still alive. Didn't do any wounds this turn though, unfortunately. So on to the next round of combat for these guys. So Warriors Chaos turn 3. So this, I kind of missed a couple of photographs here, and this is actually the combat phase. So what happened was he charged in through the wood, took a wound, then I had my attacks first, obviously, did 2 more wounds, and killed him. Then the attacks back killed all those guys, plus the stomps. So my wizard is dead, my BSB is dead, and I just moved those guys up because things are not looking very good. So yeah, there we go. Lots of deaths, and that's not so hot. And then of course we fail. We were on a double 1 with no rerolls, so we roll straight off and he rolls straight over me and kills me. And then Warriors Chaos onto the combat over here. So Marty decides after the horrible combat, well, I wouldn't say horrible, he's doing pretty well, but he didn't cause any wounds to my Phoenix the last turn, and it is 4s for him to wound me, and then I have a 4+ ward save, so he decides to go for my general, and he takes a wound off him, even though my armor save is pretty nice. But the good news is I think it's 3 wounds off him this turn, and he doesn't soul feed the one he took off me, so things are looking quite good. So high off turn 3, and actually at this time we were kind of running out of time, because we thought we'd loads of time, so we went in and out for about an hour talking and smoking and doing all sorts, so we had to hurry up at this stage. So I got my 2 Reaver units flying around here, just a couple of shots at his warriors just to get out of the way really, and just harass a little bit, and that's it. On to combat then, and boom, we killed the Demon Prince. Brilliant stuff. This I did not think I was going to kill him at all, because the first 2 combat rounds were a disaster. I lost 4 wounds and I was nearly dead. But yeah, great news. Demon Prince is dead. That's lots of points back, and you know, maybe I might be able to salvage something out of this. And we just did a little reform as much as I could, because we can't really do too much of a reform here. So there we go. So Warriors Chaos turn 4. From top to bottom we have the Reavers running away, because he has his chosen could see me a little bit, so obviously he declared a charge just to get rid of me. He didn't make it, so he just failed the charge, but he drives me off and tries to panic my other unit, but we didn't go through that unit, so we're okay. Then the Chaos Warriors declare a charge on my general, just to manage to swing in there and get in contact. And then the unkillable, well, almost unkillable BSB is actually an extra wound taken off him, because my archer shot him at one stage and got another wound off him, so he's down to 1 wound. He goes into Caradrian, and then the Skull Crushers just swift reform, well, not swift reform, I did actually swift reform, and then move up towards the combat. And as you can see there is an explosion. That's because he killed my Phoenix, which means that the general's dead, but so is the Phoenix. So the table for the Frost Phoenix is 1, he's gone. 2 to 5, there's an explosion and all sorts of stuff happens. It's this big template, strength 4, flame and hit, and then in a 6 he comes back to life. But if he has a rider at the time he's dead, he gets a +1 onto that roll. I think actually it's 1 to 2 he's gone. So on a 1 I'm gone, and on a 5 or 6 I come back to life. Anywhere within 6 inches of that marker right there. And yeah, I'm dead. There you go. And the other combat was Caradrian, who gets killed. BSB still has his wounds left. Ashtari doesn't panic, but fails his panic check for combat, which means he runs off. He didn't catch me though, so he doesn't get any points for that yet, and I still have a chance to rally him, so that's not too bad. And high off turn 4, actually this was just at the end of the Warriors of Chaos turn. I rolled my dice and I got myself a 6, so the general reappears, which is great news for me. And then my movement phase starts. So Ashtari turns around, rallies, which is grand. General then flies across over the Chaos Warriors, drops his molten lava crap all over them, and kills 6, which is good stuff because he's got no regen for that. So he's only got his armor save, which is 3+, moving up to a 4, but still kills quite a few guys. And I placed him just facing this direction because he's got warriors looking at me, but they're actually in my flank, so he can't charge me and go into the front because the rules say if you're in the flank of somebody you have to go into the flank. So I won't be getting charged off those guys, and I'm looking straight down this way to either maybe go into the wires depending on where they go, into the BSB possibly depending on where he goes, or into the skull crushers depending on where they go. So it's not a bad position to be in. Then up the top I got my 2 reavers who just move over to the side. I think the Health Striders are over there, so they're going to take a couple of shots. And yes, the Health Striders are over there. So we fire a couple of shots. We fire 2 units shots in. Just kill 2 Health Striders, which is grand really because they're quite expensive. I think they're 100 points. So that's nice, and they're really cool models too. I really like them. So Warriors of Chaos turn 5, and it actually so happens that Ross came over and said, lads, you're a little bit slow, so we really need you to wrap up this final turn, if it's your final turn. I said, well, it's actually only turn 5. He goes, well, if you've both got to go, then just finish your goes and then knock it on the head. So we said, fair enough, because it's quite close, and I think we just kind of avoid each other a little bit, and I don't think he's going to catch my guys anyway, so I think one turn will do both of us. So Marty decides to declare charge on Caradrian, who I flee, or sorry, Ashtari, who I flee with. He then declares he declares to redirect into the Reavers. He thought he would be able to get an overrun onto the other Reavers if he did. So he passed that check and fires away, and then I fire off. Now I didn't actually fly off that far, but I did fly too far for the Skull Crushers there to declare another charge on me, which was good because he would probably have been pushing very, very close to being off the board. Meanwhile then, the Warriors down the back, they just turn around and the Skull Crushers move up a little bit. And then over there, yes, the Health Striders charge into my other Reavers and look to take them out as well. No magic really happened at all, so we go to combat, and the Reavers at the top kill all the Health Striders, which is great, loads of points. Well, not loads of points, but you know what I mean. Down the bottom then, the BSB only kills 4 of my guys. I fail my check, I break, and he only I think I went 5 or 6, hardly anything. And Marty rolled a 1, a 1, and a 2. He missed out on getting me. It's just very unlucky there, but I can't complain because the old Reavers are still alive. So high off turn 5. This is my last turn, and there's only one thing, actually there's 2 things I wanted to do. One was to charge into the side of the Skull Crushers, because if I can get in there and kill them, I've just made back about 300 points, and I got a good chance to get nearly a draw out of this game, which I never thought I would have had a hope of getting in the first place. So I declare charge, it's a 7, and I fail. So it just wasn't to be. What can you do? Meanwhile then, the 2 units of Reavers turn around and take a couple of shots at the BSB. Don't kill them, surprise surprise, but never mind. And that is the end of the game. And that's the end of the game. So that was a hell of a lot of fun for a first game in a tournament. It was great. I was really glad that I played Marty, and hopefully you had as good a game as I did, Mr. Sloan. Thank you very much. So at the end of the game, my victory points were 5, 9, 7. I think they were actually a little wrong, but who cares? It doesn't really matter. It's just fun, isn't it? So opponent's victory points then were 9, 4, 5. So it is an 8, 12, which is pretty decent actually, because most of the time I don't get any points off those Warriors of Chaos. So getting 8 points in my first game with a pretty soft kind of army list is pretty cool. And it was a lot of fun too. I mean, the Phoenix came back to life. Got to fly over stuff, a few charges. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. So yeah, if Marty's listening, thanks very much for the game, mate. Super game as usual. And then on to the next one. So we got 4 more games coming. Hopefully I'll get another one up by the end of the week. I just haven't got a lot of time with Christmas coming up and changing jobs in the new year and stuff. So it's a lot going on. But I really want to get these up because they were. I had 5 pretty cool games, which is kind of rare in a tournament. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting them up. So anyway, I'll let you go. Thanks for watching, and I hope you had a good view, and take it easy.